Why, when a woman is in a bad relationship, um, and she's getting played, dogged out, whatever, why the first thing we say is, oh, drop that zero, get your hero, oh, you can get so much better, oh, you deserve so much better. And when people are talking about deserving so much better and getting so much better, they're talking about the next man. Why? Pushing. Now, I say this thing. Before I go there, I tell women all the time. Well, I used to. I said the best way to get over one man is to get under another one. It's a little joke I used to have, but I don't say that no more, right? Because the answer is not you can find a better man. Because what if you don't? What if you don't? Let's talk reality right now. A lot of times we as women, we want to be in this fantasy, romantic world where we just dream up this guy and we're going to manifest this guy. And I'm not saying that can't happen. But what if you did the work on you first? Before you start manifesting a whole nother human being, what if you manifested love within yourself and enough love for yourself to where you would not fall prey or victim to the same tricks of psychology and manipulation that so many men use? One thing I respect is the brothers out here that don't mind taking care of a woman. And if you find that in another race, that's cool. But there's so many men who want to just tell a woman those 3 words, I love you. And she is supposed to be his sex slave. She's supposed to rub his back, take his mood swings, do anything to please him because he offers her love. What if we stop seeking love outside of ourselves? What if? I'm just asking. I'm just posing a question right now. That is not the answer when a sister is going through it and she probably contributed her share of issues to the situation. But when she's getting emotionally abused or even physically abused, and people say, oh, you're going to find another man. No, she got to find herself. And then that's how she will not end up with another creep. When you find yourself and you worry about maintaining yourself, you cannot get with another abusive man. Before the physical abuse starts, you always get red flags. I met this woman one time at a church. And I think her book was called Live to Tell the Story or something like that. I live to tell the story. I live to tell it, something like that. It's been so long ago. But this woman was a gorgeous woman. But she showed pictures when she came to the church. We seen like her head swole up. She had to learn how to walk again, talk again, everything. Her husband had never been physically abusive, or she couldn't tell that he was ever mentally or emotionally abusive, verbally abusive. And one day she came home from work and her girlfriend brought her home and she changed clothes and went back to trying to go back to the office. This dude didn't exchange words with her. They didn't have no words. He just shot her in the head. He's still in prison to this day, and that was a long time ago. But she never saw it coming, she said. I'm here to tell you, you don't have to be that smart to recognize emotional abuse, mental abuse. Physical abuse is obvious. But you don't let it get there. You don't let it get to the physical because you got to pay attention to the red flags of the emotional abuse. Okay? Sometimes it may be verbal. Sometimes you might just have a passive, aggressive, narcissistic asshole who he don't say a lot. He just neglects you emotionally. He don't give a damn how much you crying because of this or that. And I'm not talking about you manipulating him with tears, because some women do that. But I'm talking about you really genuinely begging this man for whatever it is you're begging him for, and he is unfazed and unbothered by your pain and your cries. That's your sign, sis. That's emotional abuse. He could be just neglecting you emotionally. That may never turn into verbal abuse. But I knew another situation where a girl told me the guy had never been verbally abusive. Never. She thought everything was fine. He came in the house one day and just punched her in her face. Again, she said there was no quarrel, no argument, nothing. You gotta learn when people are emotionally unstable. Everybody is not emotionally stable. Everybody is not mentally stable. Okay? And those are two different things. And sometimes you can have a combination of both. You got to pay attention to that. When somebody say some crazy shit, they probably crazy. Yeah. First you say crazy shit, then you do crazy shit, okay? You gotta pay attention. If your feelings that don't mean nothing to that man, that's emotional abuse. If he's insulting you and putting you down and making you feel less than and comparing you to somebody else, that's verbal abuse. And of course, the physical, if he's demanding sex, and or roughing you up or jerking on your arms. That ain't cute. That ain't cute. That's physical abuse. Pay attention. Emotional, verbal, physical abuse. And men go through the same thing, but this ain't for the men. I'll make another video for y'all another day. But this is for the women. Okay? Because women still trying to play victim in 2020 when we done had 911 in the rural country communities of the South for at least 30 years. You can't go into a public building or a doctor's office without seeing a poster. If you read, it's posters everywhere say, do you know anybody's being abused? Are you being abused? Call this number. They got so many nonprofit organizations, shelters that people donate to, and you can get the hell away from your abuser. You might have to lose some things. You might have to lose some things. I met this white lady one time at the insurance company. She was my agent. And she said that, I don't know how we got on the topic. Well, now I do. Never mind. I do, because I was getting out of a relationship where the guy was just, he did not know how to handle a breakup. So he was on some stalking me, terrorizing me, threatening my life and that of my child at the time. And so I was telling her about that situation. Some kind of way it came up, and she told me that she was with a military officer, and basically I asked her how often did he hit her, and she said maybe 2 times, 3 times a year. And she said she's never called the police on him because she was terrified of him. But the neighbors would call, and the military police would come out to the house they had on base, and she would have like a black eye and a bust lip, and they would come out and just talk to him without even seeing her and tell them it's okay, because he was a high-ranking officer. And he would tell them, no, it's okay. We was just having a dispute. She's fine. They would never see her. And they would go on about their business, protecting their superior officer. So I was like, well, why are you staying in that? And long story short, she told me in so many words that she could not see herself doing what a lot of black women do as far as getting on Section 8 and food stamps or public housing. She really couldn't see losing the materials that they had. She couldn't see starting over with 3 children with nothing, So she chose to endure those occasional beatings because she enjoyed the soccer van that she was driving and the credit cards and the nice house that she was able to entertain people in. And so, she couldn't see trading that for poverty. She felt like her children had a stable, financially stable lifestyle with this man, as opposed to what she could provide. There's a problem. There's a problem when we value material stuff over our safety, over our peace of mind. There's a problem. There's a problem with that. And all kind of women are doing it. All kind of women are chasing the lifestyles of the men that can, put them in the finer things, red bottom shoes, a little mini mansion, financial security, a Mercedes. It's a lot of us going through that because material, we're valuing material more than anything. But this is my main point. This is if you don't hear nothing else, I'm saying we gotta stop telling women that when they're in something toxic, abusive, emotional abusive, physically abusive, verbally abusive, we gotta stop telling them, oh, well, drop that drop that zero and get your hero. Oh, girl, it's another man that can treat you better. That is not what you need to be telling women. You need to be telling her, go love herself. Go find herself and fall in love with herself. That takes care of everything else after that. A woman that knows her worth. Now, some women and all women ain't worth shit. Okay? Every female ain't no woman. I can tell you that now. Okay? But telling women that there's somebody better, you are the somebody. Nobody is going to treat you better than you treat yourself, girl. Nobody is going to love you more than you love yourself, girl. Nobody. People are having children, trying to find love. Okay, and then that child is going to grow up, and they may not love you so much when they grow up. Every child going to love you when they dependent on you. Then what? You going to keep having children? You'd be like that mother, that one woman, the Octo mom. She had like 8 children at one time from artificial insemination, Yeah, just trying to find love outside of herself. She got all these plastic surgeries. That didn't fulfill her. So she wanted a bunch of kids because you think if you're going to have a child, they got to love you, right? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. A lot of children do not love their parents. And sometimes it has nothing to do with the parent being bad or mean to the children. Some people just have corrupt seeds. The DNA, the generational curses that was passed down in the DNA, and then you mix that with somebody else's generational curses, and now you got a demon seed. It's just facts. It's facts. Stop telling women to go look for somebody else. I used to say this thing. I used to say it. And I would be talking shit. But I used to say the best way to get over one man is to get under another one. I would tell women that. And it helped them at that time. The ones that I was dealing with, they thought, okay, they married for life. He got 2 girlfriends he paying bills for. And you sitting up here thinking you married for life. So, see, they needed that at the time. But now, knowing what I know now, I wouldn't tell them that. I would tell them, go love yourself. Go fall everything you want a man to do for you, go do for yourself. Everything that you desire regarding love, pour it into yourself. Now, you will recognize the verbal abuse, the emotional abuse, the mental abuse. If I hadn't stated this, let me state it now. And if I'm stating it again, forgive me, because I did this video before and I started over. So, emotional abuse, you're crying, real tears, not cries and tears of manipulation, because women can do that. But I mean, you're really, really hurting because this guy is not investing in you emotionally. Emotionally, he's not giving you a thing. He's there physically, but there's no bond. There's no compassion. That's emotional abuse. Emotional neglect. Verbal abuse, he's telling you what you're doing wrong. He's comparing you to somebody else. He's talking down to you. Maybe even calling you out your name. Maybe using your insecurities against you. That's verbal abuse. Okay? Mental abuse is a combination of the emotional and the verbal. Okay? It's both of them. Okay? He's just totally dogging you out. You know, you just can't do no right. Okay? And then the physical is obvious. He roughs you up a little bit. He even abuses you sexually. Whether that's whether that's being rough sexually with you, or whether that's demanding your body regardless of how you feel. Because the average woman, if the average woman loves a man, or is into that man, and that man is really taking care of her, the average woman, not female, but woman, you know, she'll give you some, and you know, even when she don't want to, because you're taking care of her. So you sacrifice for her to listen to her and be there for her emotionally and mentally. Then she sacrifices physically. But you know, if you have somebody that is, like I said, they're just demanding of your body, and they know that you're not even getting wet, you're not even turned on and attracted to them, well, that is a form of physical abuse and mental abuse. You will have signs. Some women say they didn't have any signs. I don't believe it. Some type of way if he's insecure, if he's jealous, insanely jealous, that's not cute. You know, a little healthy jealousy is cool. I'm gonna kill you and a nigga. That's not cute. That's not cute. Because let me tell you one thing about crazy. Crazy have some kind of sign. You're gonna have some kind of sign when somebody crazy. You can't tell me there is no sign. Stop wanting to fall in love outside of yourself. You know, I think that was one of the biggest hoaxes that Christianity did on my people, is tell them to love something outside of themselves. Nobody is going to love you if you don't love you. You put up with somebody's bullshit one time, you can believe it's going to be 2 times and 3 times. And I'm not saying people perfect. I'm not saying that you won't have to forgive a person. But it's a difference from forgiving someone who is really remorseful and sorry, and they demonstrate their sorrow in change behavior, versus the person who verbalize that they're sorry, but they continue to give you the same thing. It's your life. It's your life. This won't resonate with women who think they can save a man. Honey, what I found out is it is hard enough to save yourself. So even if you subscribe to religion, the religion teaches you to point people to the way of the source, right? Doesn't tell you to be the source. You can't save somebody by loving them. You know, again, religion says if I slap you on the left cheek, you're going to turn your right and let me slap you on that one too. Religion says slaves obey your master. Okay? You don't need this whole idea of the man is the leader and the woman submit. Unless you are mentally disabled, you don't need a leader. That's how we having this big burst of gurus, conscience gurus, and conscience leaders and stuff like that, because people are still, even though they may come out of religion, they're still brainwashed by religion. So they still seek leadership, okay? Especially women, because Christianity is very disrespectful to women. You know, the nicest verse that they can pull out of that book about a woman is, you know, a woman is virtuous. She get up and she work early in the morning until, you know, the wee hours of the morning, the virtuous woman scripture, or that a man that finds a wife finds a good thing. That's the only 2 they got for you. All the rest of them are oppressing women. Okay? So let's stop telling women that their resolution to one idiot is to find another man. Find yourself. Find yourself. Love yourself. And nobody, once you start loving you, you ain't taking nobody's shit. Nobody. Not at a job, not in a relationship, not in a friendship, not in nothing. The answer is within. You must learn to love yourself because we teach people how to treat us. If you accept bullshit from a person one time, you're going to be accepting it again and again and again. Again, I will say, yes, you can forgive a person making mistakes, but accepting bullshit in somebody's mistake is two different things. The mistake is not a violation. You have to know the difference between a mistake and a violation. Some people will just violate you because you allow them to do that. Okay? And then some people genuinely make a mistake. And so it's up to you. I've met women who say they can deal with cheating long as he paying the bills. So you know what you can deal with. It's not for me to tell you that you deserve better, because clearly you don't. If that's what the hell you want to deal with, somebody possibly giving you a STD for life, or they making babies on you while you attaching yourself to this one sorry motherfucker right here, then you clearly deserve that. We don't get what we deserve in life. We get what we settle for. Okay? So, I look at people and I see what they settle for. And who am I to tell you don't settle for that? You know what I mean? Like, that might be your cup of tea. Everybody have their kink, what they like. Some women like to get their head knocked loose once in a while. Some women like to get raped in their marriage. It's up to you. But I'm here just to say that once you love yourself and you fall madly in love with yourself, you attract a better people to you. And you also will spot. And it's lonely. Don't get me wrong. Don't think I'm saying you're going to be surrounded by a bunch of people that love you because you love yourself. But it definitely will improve. And, but even if it's only 2 or 3 people in your life, 1 or 2 people in your life, it's only you. It's only you. You literally will die by yourself. Your heart, your organs are not going to shut down if you get in a car wreck at the same time with the next person. Y'all ain't going to die at the same time. If somebody right beside you and y'all get in a car wreck and both y'all dead, they didn't die at the same exact time as you. So you leaving this world by yourself. Okay? So if you was born with a twin or a triplet or whatever, then I guess you wasn't born by yourself if you consider that. But you damn sure gonna die by yourself. Nobody is responsible for you but you.